Okay guys, let me show you about the size of a smooth stone that has been used by David. It's not a big rock, it's a nice size but not too big.
In the passage in 1 Samuel talking about David and Goliath, talks about Saul and his army being encamped at Sha'araim, the city of Sha'araim. And we also know that the battle trajectory proceeded back from a place called Ephes Dammim. We know where that is, back behind me, right? I'm not disoriented, am I?
Yes.
And so if you look at this ridge right here, and imagine we had gone up the other side of this ridge and walked a more treacherous pathway. This site is rather inaccessible, but it's up on the top of this hill. And it's on about, I would say, where that ridge sticks out up over the hill on top. That is the recent archaeological discovery, and let me back up and give you one more detail. In Hebrew, Sha'araim means two gates. It is typical in this period, it is typical in the cities of this region for a city to have one gate. It is very, very unusual for a city to have two gates. But Khirbet Qeiyafa, the Arabic name of the site up here, has two gates. Right here where it's supposed to be, with the Valley of Elah right here, and with the Philistine cities back this way, with Azekah on this hill. And so we have also had discoveries up here. This is Finkelstein?
Finkelstein, yeah.
Yeah, so Israel Finkelstein, one of our really interesting modern archaeologists, he has been unearthing things up here like jar handles stamped with Hamelech, which means to the king. It belongs to the king, and in Hebrew. And so the right language, the right kind of stamp for a kingdom here in Israel at the right time and the right place for it to have been Hamelech, Saul at the time, or David to follow. And so we see the Israelite kingdom present here. We see it referred to all the way up north at Dan. There is growing evidence that indeed the Bible was right when it said that there was a united kingdom that went from Dan to Beersheba. But anyway, here David collected his 5 smooth stones, 4 more than he needed because the first one went planted in Goliath's forehead. And that was that for Goliath. A lot of Philistine boasting came to an end, and the whole Philistine army fled. The Hebrew word na'ar is the word that's used when Saul tells David, you are, as a teenager, that you are only a na'ar. Well, the word na'ar is very, very interesting because it doesn't seem to apply just to little boys. It seems to have something to do, when you look at the other usages of the word na'ar in the Old Testament, it seems to have something to do with rank and position and responsibility. So when Dr. Rodney Cloud walks past a little diminutive statue of a little boy David holding a little slingshot over in the Tower of David Museum in Jerusalem, he erupts into a na'ar lecture every single time. But this little David that came down here was not the little boy. This was a strapping teenager with some training and some responsibility. When he was up here on the hill and Saul told him, here, take my armor, David didn't say, it's too big for me because I'm just a little boy. He said, I haven't tested it yet. I'm not accustomed to this. I'm accustomed to being out in the fields slaying animals that are attacking my sheep, and I do that with a slingshot. I don't need all this. And so David chose to use his familiar tools, a sling and this. But these were pieces of rope that had a pouch halfway down the rope, and so you held, one end is tied around your finger and one end you hold between your fingers, and you whip it like this no more than 3 times, and you launch it that way, and the projectile goes flying out at deadly speed. And so you don't have to sit here and swing all day, just once or twice around, and you whip it, and that stone goes out with deadly force. So David was very skilled at that. He had killed a few animals, a few predators trying to kill his sheep, and he, with his faith in God, came here one day to slay a beast that was rising up against the people of God. So it's a very wonderful place. This is definitely one of the places where we are here, not near. And the modern archaeology here in just the last couple of decades has given us even more evidence to that point. Had things worked out with my luggage, there would have been an ancient replica sling today, and we were not going to throw stones because we might kill somebody, but I had a bag of marshmallows to throw because that is safe ammunition. And so if the luggage comes in, we'll do that somewhere.